younger with the hat on backwards.
All right.
Right? There could be a full head of like blonde hair under there. You don't know.
Yeah, but I know.
Pause
I know
myself.
there's 3 little hairs.
All right, there we go. We are live.
Like that one ESPN commercial where he's got the ponytail.
And there goes people's cameras. Don't mind the cameras dropping in and out. It happens because of what we're using right now. So we're just gonna have to live with that.
Is this on the usual AGL channel?
Yes, it is on the usual
Yeah.
Arena
Just wanted to
Gaming
tweet
League
that.
on
Awesome.
Twitch. All right, so
Yeesh.
everyone that's watching, we're gonna talk a little bit about Pittsburgh. We're gonna talk about Knoxville. We're gonna talk about AGL Wired, and anything else that we want to talk about. So to kind of kick this off, obviously Pittsburgh is the next event, AGL 6. We've got the 3 casters in here that will be at that event, Ghost, Gandhi, and Maven. So welcome to them.
Hi.
And then we've got
I
the...
wish your name started with a G, so we could be the triple Gs.
I'll change it.
I'll change
You
it.
should.
Everyone that's watching, we're talk about Pittsburgh. We're talk about somebody's repeating on their computer right now. I can hear it.
Oh god, he's got the repeat. I know it's Billy.
Pause it! It's got to be Billy.
Repeat's coming from
That's
Billy.
gotta stop.
Oh yeah.
So talented.
So obviously Pittsburgh's got
He's got
32
skills.
teams, and there's definitely looking like some pretty good teams going to that. Believe the Hype coming back. We haven't seen Cloud or Maniac in the Halo 4 scene yet, and I was told that their 4th is APG. So that's a
I've actually heard the exact same thing.
Yeah,
And
I saw on Twitter, but
I mean, assuming APG actually is on that team, it's like, can anyone actually give them a run for their money at that event? I mean, Cloud and Maniac, that's going to kind of be their event to kind of like get their feet back in the water, just kind of dip their toes in and then get ready for Knoxville. But, dude, I mean, APG, I think you could strap APG with 3 other teammates from anyone placing at the top 16 at the last event, and he would probably win Nashville. He's just that talented, I think.
Now, do you think?
Where you weighing in on
He's
this, Ghost?
extremely talented kid.
Now, do you think that?
Maniacs, but I'll tell you what, those vines were amazing. I don't know if everybody saw those. Scott, you saw them. The vines that Maniac did.
Oh, yeah. He's a character.
I'm looking forward to meeting him. Those had me rolling.
The only thing Maniac's known for now.
And then you've got
like Maniac.
Go.
The funny thing about like this Believe the Hype squad is like, even though they haven't been playing Halo, they've all been still competing and still practicing online with League of Legends. I think in the respective divisions, I think they're like upper gold, lower diamond, like all of them. So they're like a very, not the most prestige, but I mean they're still pretty elite players, and they like really understand that game. So communication's still there at least, because League of Legends you still have to communicate your ass off, and they still have the teamwork side of things. So I don't know how the carryover is going to be, but it's not like they haven't been doing anything in between the last event. So I see them having no problem dusting off the cobwebs and showing up, Eric.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I just always saw Maniac and Cloud as those guys that really didn't have to put in the time to like be prepared for a tournament. I mean, I know they haven't played much Halo 4, but regardless, they've always, those 2 guys, Destin, like even like Saiyan, I don't know. There's certain players that didn't have to play much in between tournaments, and they still retained the same, individual skill and all that kind of stuff. And then as long as they knew the game or played enough of it previously, they just really fell into place. So they always have like, really good teamwork. Those guys are, they've always teamed in the past together, so I can't see it going poorly for them.
Yeah, and plus on top of that, I mean, Cloud in Halo 3 was the first player to win 3 events back to back to back. And the big thing with Halo 3, like in the 2008 season, and actually and 2009, the big thing about it is like no one thought you could win back to back events because the game was too random, right? So like he wins 3 with the national championship in it. So the guy knows what it takes to win. And the crazy thing is I went back and I was actually watching his VOD. Probably like a week ago, right? And I remember he has the steadiest shot in the world. Like, everyone knows his shot's so steady with the sniper. And now he's not going to get knocked out of Zoom. Like he's gonna put on a show for sure.
Yeah.
Like, imagine him, Eric. You played against him. You know what he's capable of. Like, you played him in that finals.
Yeah, he's it's annoying, man. He's always been one of those players that's really like under the radar. I feel like with the majority, I mean with the majority of I feel like the fans, like we have a ton of other players that always kind of steal that limelight. You have Snipe Down and Formal, and those guys are always really seen. Pistola, those guys are always seen as the guys that are the flashy players. But yeah, I think that Cloud is always been known. Laid back, hysteria type of style stuff, sniping that ends up being the difference in a lot of games.
Agreed. Yeah, Maves, and I know you personally haven't, I don't think you have any experience with any of those guys minus Lethal. Do you even, are you looking for it? Are you, like, expecting anything out of these guys? Like, from personal?
If they're anything like Lethal, I'm terrified. No, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I think it'd be hard to argue that they're not 100% the team to beat at Pittsburgh. That's for sure.
What do you think? What team do you think is going to come in second? You got Pierce, Sicker Than Your Average, which is going to be Elitist, and Blaze, who we haven't seen Blaze in the Halo 4 scene yet.
Yeah,
and then
he's always
there's a couple. I'm not really sure if there's any Severance
what is
possibly.
The Pure team now? Because not to cut you off, but what is the Pure team now? Because I know Adventureland or Adventure Time, whichever you prefer to call them,
Land.
Disbanded, and then RC and someone else, SiegeCon or Siege, whatever his name is, Sir Siege, aren't going to the event. So that left Spartan and I think it's Spartan. It's like
Spartan and
Gandhi. And like 2 other people. Hunter James.
Yeah, it's gonna be Trey Try, Spartan, Platinum, and Hunter. And then
I really hate how like Adventure Time like split up.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like that was kind of my favorite going in before like APG got picked up on BTH. Like they got 7th, 8th at Nashville. They were doing well. They were still practicing. I really hate when teams disband when they have so much potential, but I can understand like the whole appeal of it. It's like, oh well, this team got 6, I got to go to them. But you don't know how that chemistry is going to be, and it's 2 weeks out. I think it's a ballsy move. I don't know. It's going to depend on how much Pure actually gets in before this event.
Personally. I mean, and then you've got DGR, Nemesis, Six Story, Kratos, and Showtime. All 4 of them, doing great in Nashville. And then A-Team, Proverb, Aptitude, Sargoth, and their 4th, I've heard a few names thrown around, Best Man, Snipe Down, and a couple others. So I don't know who their 4th is going to be yet.
Wow.
That's the Severance squad, right?
Yeah, they changed their name to A-Team.
Isn't Proverb leaving for basic training like before?
I think this is his last event. I think he's done after this event.
Okay. I played with him the other night. I thought he was leaving before Pittsburgh for some reason.
Yeah, I've caught wind. I've had sources that it's down to I think it's in between Snipe Down or Best Man as the 4th. And well, if it's Snipe Down on the team, then like obviously whatever their new name is, I'm gonna always call them Severance. Whatever the new team is if it's Snipe Down, it's like sorry, PTH.
It's gonna be who plays better, Snipe Down or APG.
Well, I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If you ask me. In this game, in the sense of taking games over, I think Snipe Down kind of has that advantage, but he's also, his supporting cast is absurd. And Eric can attest to that.
That's something that, I always felt with Snipe Down, he's always really got to get the best of you in the beginning of games, in the beginning of the season, or of any of these new games, the new titles. He just has that raw talent that, you said, Scott, games, whether it's or just his like Slayer play style that always shines through in every one of these games. And when you just start out into these titles, people are still trying to get into their own comfort zones. They're trying to get into their own play styles. So you don't really see the necessary teamwork, coordination, that kind of stuff evolve yet to overcome these types of dominant players or the guys that can really, make plays, that kind of stuff. So until you see, like I said, it evolve and people learn how the game should be played and all that kind of stuff, and you see people actually playing as teams of 4 rather than just like what I like to call the 3-and-1. which Straight Rippin did for so long until eventually they got toppled and everything like that. So it's just his time, so to speak, and yeah, he's definitely doing what he can with it.
I don't know. That team looks. I mean, that team would snipe that. I mean, it just sucks. It's all speculation at this point. But even with Best Man, I mean, Best Man's actually like the same kind of player, but he does. It's not like he's gonna have flashy snipes. He's just gonna hit that right. And Best Man's like Magic House. He
Now
has
it's buzzing.
days for. And Maven's at like day 18, and he's 17.
I want to see what you guys think of.
Who's on that team?
Who's on it?
Who's on that team? Is that the
It's
same
so
squad
hard.
as the last time?
I'll tell you.
That's
Since we had this.
Regicide, Straight Sick, Aries, and Frosties.
Them. I think it was either Eric and I,
Dude.
Maven and I
Yeah.
who casted.
I did one.
You and I, and we were like, you can't really count them out. They played Reality Check round 1 at Nashville. I mean, like, you can't really count them out because they're all household names, but it's like at the same time, I just don't. I don't know. It's really all going to be
What do you
dependent
think
on
they'll
like.
come in?
Well, I'd be a fool to say outside the top 8, seeing since there's 32 teams and I think they can do it. So I'd probably say top 8, but I think anything over top 4 will open my eyes. Anything lower, I won't be surprised about. But I put them right around like 7th, 8th.
You almost just put a nasty rhyme together
That's
there.
fair.
I thought you were realizing that. I was ready to give you props for that. You had a rhyme going
For
there
what?
for a second. I thought you were gonna take off with it. I
Oh,
was getting
no.
excited.
Oh, no. You're giving me way too much credit, sir.
Thought we were gonna have
to
Dr.
set the
Seuss
bar
in the
down
house.
here, and then when I go up here, you can be excited, but like, it's right about here.
So, obviously the biggest news is, is Knoxville. That the passes go on sale Wednesday. 120 teams. How fast is this gonna sell out? Our passes for the past 2 events have sold out in 21 hours and 2.5 hours. So obviously it wasn't 120 teams, but carrying that number over, with kind of the momentum that's growing and everything with Halo and with Arena Gaming, I would like to see, 48 hour or less, sell out and just show people that Halo's there. That's my.
Maven, you can start it. I get.
I was gonna say somewhere between 2 and 4 days would be promising, but I mean this jump's gonna be a pretty big tell because I mean it really seems like Halo's starting to gain momentum, but we're gonna find out with the bigger events how many teams are actually willing to come out and support it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's definitely a ton of potential. I feel like, but I've been, watching how everything's unfolding with not just EGL but the other tournaments, and there's also a bunch of things going on behind the scenes that that I guess can't really be discussed. There's I don't know, just a few people that
Cliche
have been
ghost,
talking,
man.
and it's just I just
It's
want
so cliche.
everything to go as planned.
You always
no,
do that,
there's
man.
no.
You're like
dude,
a girl
I'm
in
just
middle school who's like,
we're
oh,
just
I know
making so
something
much
about
progress. We're making so much progress, and like I just can't like it's so hard for me to like. Just hold it back. But honestly, dude, we're doing everything right. Like, there's literally no obstacles. Everything's going so well. And it's just like literally coming back, and we're making a statement. And it seems like we're doing it a lot more exponentially than other titles have done it. When they've been, kind of in the dumps or kind of, they haven't had their way with MLG and that kind of stuff. So it looks like we're doing pretty well for ourselves. That's all.
I think the big thing. I mean, I know you guys are setting it on 48 hours, but I mean, for me, I look at it like, Columbus 2012, which was like the last major Halo event, right? Because Dallas with Halo 4 does not count. That was just hideous. It was just absolutely absurd to even see It was a direct slap in the face, and I don't care what anyone who went there or anyone from the league says. That was a direct slap to the face. But I look at the last major event being Columbus, and that was,
Shit.
well, that's just Ghost being Ghost. I don't know. Who cares? I look at it as, that's the last time we sold out 164 team passes. So I think selling out as a whole is amazing. I think setting a day on it is awesome, and that's the goal you should shoot for, and that's like, the campaign you should be pushing for, and you have your eyes set on the target. But I think if you sell out, that's 120 passes, 40 less than what Columbus did, which was like the last prestige tournament. I think regardless of the time, if it sells out, that's like we're there.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think a time limit's even going to do a damn justice, personally.
I agree with that.
Now,
I mean,
obviously, everybody's big concern was, which we definitely should touch base on and have you guys kind of, get the lowdown on it, is how we started late and everything at Nashville and how everything was kind of pushed back and stuff, and kind of what we've done to eliminate that at this event. With having more teams, and everybody thinks, oh, there's a potential it might be absolute chaos. Well, this place is 50,000 square feet, first of all. So it's huge. We're going to have 88,
wow, that's massive, yeah.
88 Xboxes and monitors.
Yeah, that's big.
So,
how many?
88.
88.
So that's,
Jesus Christ.
11 stations, like 11, 8-man stations. So we're going to be able to basically be doing 4 pools at one time on split screen, and then we have the main stage open for other activities on Friday. And so that allows us, when at Nashville we had 4 pool slots throughout the day. We had 2 pools going at a time and 8 pools. So we had to crunch them into 3-hour time slots basically. And now because we only have 3 pool slots, because there's more pools going at a time, we're able to give more time for the pools, and we're able to give 5 hours for a pool slot instead of 3 hours. So we have more time for a pool, and instead of everybody checking in at one time, we've done separate check-in times. So if you're not in pool A, B, C, or D, you don't have to check in until a half an hour before you play. So you don't need to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning unless you're playing at 9:30. If you're playing at 2 o'clock, your check-in times, at 12:30 or 1, whatever the schedule says for your pool.
Cool.
That's when you have to be there, and then you're gonna play and start on time. Because we have, if something absolutely detrimental was to go wrong, that's the only way that we would get pushed back at all. And with a 2-hour buffer window in each pool, the likelihood of that happening is slim to none, especially with the amount of staff we're gonna have and everything like that. So we've kind of solved that whole scheduling thing. And then obviously the brackets on Saturday and Sunday, that started a little late on Saturday because of the pool play issue. But, brackets, we just go through those as fast as you possibly can. If those get delayed at all, there's really nothing we can do. If every single game goes to game 3 or game 5, you can only do so much on that. Yes, you have a question, Scott.
Yeah, all right. So the first one is one, the pool play should be, I think the pool, how do you crunch the numbers to see when you actually pool play would be done? Are you just planning on using all of Friday up for that?
Yeah, all day Friday will be pool play.
Okay, all day Friday. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
it starts
also,
at 10 in the morning and goes until 10 o'clock at night basically.
Well, I'm glad you touched base on that though,
then-
because it didn't affect us too much. Because I know, that just gave Scott and I more time to talk, which we enjoy. But I know some of the players. I didn't really hear much about it until we did that live show after the fact, and then we were starting to hear some complaints about downtime and stuff. But for us as casters, I didn't even really realize it. So it's good to hear you guys are, kind of hearing some of the stuff that was said and working on it.
Yeah, we definitely take all the criticism and try to fix, as much as we can about it.
Well, so the big thing with the brackets is that I know you always try to appease the community. I mean, you guys have kind of been we're here for the community, by the community, whatever, all that jargon. But the big thing you're going to have to do is Sunday's your most important day, right? You can't Like, and I know ideally, you want both semifinals matches on Sunday, which I agree with, but a lot of the losers bracket matches have to be played on the outside stations. Basically, like traditional how MLG would do it is it was all Sunday morning, but they also finished the semifinals on Saturday night. But I know with pool play and everything on Friday, it's a little out of reach. So traditionally what they would do is they would do both semifinals Saturday night. So for us, I think we should have the people vote on which semifinals match they want to see. And then we go straight into winners finals when the other one finishes up. So you run both semifinals at the same time, go straight into winners finals. And then from there, you'll have loser semis, which is like the big match, right? Because that's deciding who goes into losers finals. And you have losers finals, and then you have the finals. I mean, that's going to cut down a lot because I believe we did losers quarters and loser semis and both winner semis. So I think both of those and two of those one was a best of 9 and one was a best 11, which was just like
it was non-stopping. Yeah.
Terrible to the schedule. But so you take those out, you're saving 4 hours, and we got done 1:30. So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think, right? Or 1, whatever it was. So, I mean, 4 hours from there is even fine. And with more stations there, I honestly think we could probably get semifinals done Saturday night. I mean, I think that's the goal to shoot for. Because then Sunday we wake up and it's easy. Sunday we can get there. We can walk in there at 10 a.m. and we'll be out of there at 6 p.m. No questions.
Right.
And somebody mentioned the bracket. Who actually does the bracket?
We typically just use how like Challenge does it, and I know that like you guys said like to ask your buddy, and you said like it has to be like a 96 team versus a 72. Well, I compared a 96 team and a 72, and they're actually exactly the same. They end up being exactly the same. It just looks different like when you look at the bracket, because if you do a 96 team and you only have 72 teams on it, the same teams get buys and everything like that. And it's basically it's exactly the same as if it was a 72. So unless somebody like has like a completely different bracket or something, like every bracket I find for a 72 or a 96 for anything, they're all exactly the same. So I don't know where to go
something
there.
was wrong with crossing and losers or something.
Yeah,
I don't really know much about brackets, but
I got you. So essentially, what it is, it's when they go into the losers bracket, there's a way you have to cross, so the teams don't end up meeting back up until like much further. God, I need where's Hoss? Our savant idiot account.
That was the only thing he said was a big issue. The crossing wasn't right in the losers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was like what he was saying. I don't know. One thing I want to know is for pool play. Now, if a team meets up with another team from pool play, is it going to be a continuation series?
See, we discussed doing that, and the reason we didn't want to do that going into Nashville is because of the ability to keep track of all of that. But I don't know. It's like it's been back and forth. Yeah, we should do that, and no, we shouldn't.
Yeah,
so it's kind of in the air.
Way.
Because
I think the Scott and I actually talked about that a little bit because we know in the past that we've seen MLG do it back before it got big. They did no series. It was purely pool play was pool play. That was for seeding, and then you got seeded into your double elimination bracket, which I always liked. I thought I thought that's how it should be. That's the righteous way to do it. But then MLG then changed up pools around where only the winner of every pool, obviously advanced to the winners bracket. Everyone else was placed in the losers. So that's when they switched that up, So I think that I like the old way of doing it. I think that it's a lot better when pool play doesn't affect the rest of your tournament. It should only affect your seed. That's really what it should be, in my opinion, and keep it at that.
And then, so starting Sunday, we go into at Knoxville. We go into the 72-man bracket, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And
so,
one thing,
and you've already worked this out, correct? So is there going to be 2 heats in round 1 for it to all to be done, kind of thing? Do you know?
Like how long? I don't know. I have it all written down. two or three heats, something like that. But the way that it goes even faster is instead of waiting for every single team to be done, when one person's done, we're sitting the next team down because it just goes way faster. Otherwise, we're sitting there waiting, for one team that possibly goes to game 3 when the other two people had 10-minute matches. So once someone's done, we'll just keep knocking it out. It's faster than like separating it and being like, okay, everyone in heat 1, now everyone get up, now everyone in heat 2. It's faster to just have us, we're gonna have a PA system there. We're gonna have all the stations labeled and everything. So it's easier for us just to keep announcing people. Like when a station's done, have that ref tell Billy to, make the announcement for the next 2 teams to go sit down there. So we're just gonna roll it and just keep it going nonstop all day Saturday.
I think it's good because we have a lot more of the equipment than we do at the last event. So we have the PA system. We're going to have way more staff. So it's going to run a lot smoother than we had in the past. And it's just going to be able to punch through a whole bunch of stuff and give us more time and leeway for the stream.
And also on Friday, which I don't even know if you guys know, everybody's been saying, hey, let's get an FFA going and stuff with Halo 4 and with AGL because we haven't done anything with FFA yet. So there is going to be a FFA on Friday for the top 16 teams.
Awesome.
We were going to do it for the top 24, but there was a problem with like the same thing with the bracketing size. Like if we did top 24, basically there would only be like 6 people per free for all, which I mean, if that isn't that big of a deal, I mean we could do it, but to me 8 should be 8. And so like, and if somebody in like one of the top 16 teams like doesn't want to play or can't play, then that just opens a spot for someone to sign up on the 17th team, on the 18th team. So there is a possibility of spots being open from the 17 to the 24 teams depending on how many people in the top 16 actually are going to compete in it. And so free for all will be on the main stage all day Friday. We're going to start the stream at 1 o'clock on Friday. So we're not going to do like a really early stream on Friday. So we're going to do a 1 p.m. stream start for the free for all on Friday, and then it's going to end at 8 o'clock. So we got a nice short day on Friday for the stream. And it's basically just starting every half an hour, and then in between, if we need to, jump to like sideline casting or jump to a camera out in the crowd or whatever, like to go do interviews, we have tons of awesome production stuff coming out to help do stuff like that. And then we are also going to be giving the winner of the free for all $500. So it's not just for nothing. So that hopefully all those top people are going to want to compete in it because that's kind of their incentive to, hey, you came to our events, you're seated this, now you get the privilege of playing in our free for all and the shot of $500. So kind of one more thing that we're throwing out there.
If you open it up to like the 17,
fun. Free for all are fun to watch. They're fun to play in. They're fun to. Who started? Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, if you open it up to the 17th or 18th place team, won't that affect pool play?
No, because it can go all the way to the 24th
It's
team
not
to not affect
seeding
pool
at all.
play. Because top 24 teams will not play in pool play, so they all get a bye. They all get a bye to the second day, and I believe with the bracket they even get a bye to like winners round 2, if I'm correct. Like no matter how the bracket is, I'm pretty sure. So, I think only 16 teams don't get a bye to winners round 2 for how brackets work, whether it's 96 or 72. Unless I'm completely wrong in the bracket and somebody has something, let me know because I've tried to research it and I have not come across something different yet. So yeah, and then obviously we've got the other awards. We've got the Astro MVP award. We've got, which is the top 4 teams get to vote on who deserves it, and then they get an A40 system. And then we've got the Bonafide Bold Player Award, which we're going to be choosing the best player out of pool play to get that, and that's just going to be a swag package from us. And yes, I use that word, and it's not my favorite word to use, but I use it. And then we've got the Caster's Choice Award, which you 3 will be able to basically be like, you guys are the Caster's Choice Award. Here's $500. So.
Sorry, Gabriel.
Yeah. Can you guys handle that?
Rest in peace, Gabriel.
Hey, not to jump backwards real quick, but so are we doing anything like, well, for us casters, like I know Pittsburgh Saturday, Sunday, are we doing anything Friday night? Do we need, so like we know when we need to be there? Like, are
No,
you guys doing any
no,
kind of
not
shows or anything? Or
no, nothing until Saturday morning. So
at least we're local, so we don't have to rent a car, Eric.
Yeah, Eric. But and the good thing is I have a lanyard, so you can't possibly walk away with it with my keys. You scumbag.
I know some people are wondering about player cams. We actually got player cams. They're 1080, like perfect quality player cams. So we will have a player cam on every single player as well.
Awesome.
It's
That's
really
sick.
really cool how we got these. And so that's going to be kind of another upgrade. We'll have those at Pittsburgh. I got them in early, and we'll have those starting in Pittsburgh. So, question.
He called on me first, Maven.
I love the raising the hand thing. I love it.
Don't bring it. Don't bring it onto this chat right now. Do not bring it. Now, spectator experience here. The venue. Are we looking at caster audio going out to the people like it was at the last event? Is there seats? Is there a main stage? What are we looking like for that setup?
Awesome question. All right. So first of all, we're going to start
Are you
off with
talking
half
Pitt
of
or
the place.
Knoxville?
Half of the place. Oh yeah. What are you talking about? Pittsburgh or
Knoxville.
Knoxville? That's what
I'm talking about Knoxville.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, you can answer at the end.
Yeah. So half the place
Relax.
is laser tag. First of all, so $30 unlimited laser tag all weekend. We will have GoPros that people will be able to wear and record them playing laser tag too. So like Ambush and Warriors, we know that's going down in laser tag, and they're wearing GoPros, and that's gonna be awesome to post on YouTube afterwards. And
I'm literally going to devour people. I will be VXRing people in real life. I don't think you guys understand. I go in on laser tag. I'm talking, I tuck and roll. I do it all. I hurdle.
Dude, Formal's gonna get his hair caught in something in there, and it's gonna could be bad.
He's gonna de-scalp himself. I'm literally. People are gonna be injured. I think that's serious.
As long as they don't break their fingers,
they're good.
they're good,
idea
right?
for you guys to go there.
As long as they don't break their
We don't
fingers,
need
they're good.
fingers.
No, they may have. I will tackle people through things. It's how it happens. It's gotta. I play to win. Laser tag's a big thing for me. That goes all the way back to the childhood. It's a big thing.
So
So continue.
that starts it. There's 2 VIP rooms. We will have special passes for people to have access to those. I'm not sure how they're going to be set up or what's going to be set up in those yet. Now main stage, there's actually a room for the main stage, and they have a full-on main stage. Every single POV will have its own TV, so you can see everyone's POV. And we will also have 2 projectors, and then I think they have like another 100-inch projector somewhere else in the venue to watch as well. So tons of different options to be able to watch what's being streamed.
And from what I'm heard, the loadouts just for the guns at the place for the laser tag is almost as big as the Nashville event. So it's pretty big. So
That's awesome.
Is there 2 stories?
no,
Ooh, I don't
Is it
know.
just
I don't
a-
think so.
It's not. It's just a warehouse. There's no actual strategy to it. It's just
There's a
everyone's on the same
bomb.
footing. Awesome.
There's like
I
a
think
S&D
it's-
bomb looking thing that you can. I don't know. We have
I
not.
am
We
gonna
don't
bring
have.
my own
We
tree
don't have
stand.
leaked pictures yet. We're gonna get pictures soon because they're moving into the.
I was
the bigger
gone over
space.
through a FaceTime call and I saw some of the setup. So it's basically kind of like an office space is what it looked like. And you're like, you can hurdle over desks and sit behind big cabinets and whatnot. So Scott, you'll have plenty of room to do all your maneuvers in there.
Do they have like a corner I can set up a tree stand? Because elevation is key in real life, as
Brad, I had
everyone knows.
Brad, I had a player tweet me just wanting me to ask you, if you had, I guess, got the stuff resolved. I know there was some stuff happening with like a screen or 2 blacking out on main stage. Like, has that all been fixed or?
Yeah, that basically what that was is that
Feel
was the HD splitters. They were just getting overheated, so we got backups of that.
Damn.
So if it overheats, I can just swap them out now. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
fixed.
Oh, that's nice.
So
So we got
That's awesome.
player cams. We do have caster audio out to.
yeah,
people.
we should be able to. I might just have to get a couple more speakers, but that should be good to go.
And this is me being whiny. For us casters, are we gonna be able to have like a vertical split for the the 4-4 for the teams for us, or is it still going to be the horizontal?
No, like there's no way for me to, um, there's no way for me to really get that. I guess like.
It's not the end of the world. It was just for some
Yeah.
reason I'm dumb, and it was like harder for me to follow.
Well,
the
no,
rules
no,
for
no.
Well,
horizontal.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a third screen for you guys, and I'm gonna have so you're gonna have the one with all the point of views, then you're gonna have the one with
Okay.
what's like live with the graphics on it, and then you're gonna have one with just a single screen that's live. As does that make sense?
Okay.
So then
Yeah,
like if you're looking at
I had
the 8
trouble
one,
following it, so yeah,
so if you don't even like need to look at the 8 one, like unless you want to see what everyone else is doing, you can just look at like the other two if you need to see like who's live. And so one will have the graphic on it,
Okay.
and one will just be like the single thing. So if you're looking at the 8 one, you're not confused on like
I'll
who
focus
is
on the one.
live.
Scott can deal with the 8.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I got
what I
the 8,
figured.
dog. You worry about that single, man. I don't want you to, strain your eyes.
Don't overheat.
Glaucoma's, a problem for people of your age. So, I'm looking out for you.
I hate you.
Now the main stage setup. How's that working out? Is it a raised stage? Is it on the floor?
I don't have the
Are
pictures
the players
yet.
Close, far apart.
I don't know.
You have no.
We're supposed to be getting
It's
like
gonna be
a full
raised.
dude. Like he has like
It's
a
supposed to be
he has like a
raised.
professional like team building the stage. I mean, we're supposed to be getting like CAD drawings and renders of it so that we can show everybody and stuff. So like it's gonna be a really nice stage. That's all I know right now. That's all I know.
As the wishful kid that I am, is there 3 projectors behind it?
No, each player will have their own TV, and then there will be a projector on each side.
Oh, so they'll have a 4-man split and a 4-man split?
No. Like 8 single TVs. So every single person's.
No. I'm saying like behind.
Oh no,
right?
I
So,
can't.
like
No.
MLG
It
setup?
won't have a 4-man split. They'll just be single. They'll be what's live. So you'll be able to see all 4 players, and then you'll be able to see the 2 projectors of what's live coming from from me. So I can
Billy,
I can do
I can do
one. I can do one a 4-man split. But it just won't look right for like I don't know. It won't look right. I don't know how to explain it more than
Makes
that,
sense.
but it won't look right.
Sound reasoning.
But other than that, I mean, I'm not sure. We've got a couple other little fun things that we're gonna be giving out to people and stuff during the event that we're not even gonna tell anybody what it is until Sunday. Just fun stuff for like the spectators and the audience and stuff.
Yeah,
So
cut it out, Ghost.
to make it extra fun, just a little bit different.
Make sure your backwards hat isn't on too tight, huh? Go.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, Maven, yeah.
And then obviously we'll have
I see you.
we'll have a really big raffle going on. We'll have a bunch of stuff from Astro. We're gonna have the controller shop is gonna be out there, and they're gonna be doing custom controller stuff, and they're gonna have a really nice booth and everything going on, and they're gonna be giving us some custom painted controllers for raffle, and we're gonna have some artwork, some bona fide stuff. We're gonna have thousands of dollars worth of stuff to raffle off to people too.
There might even be some new headwear. You never know.
Oh yeah, dude, just tell them we got Arena Gaming snapbacks coming in. Doesn't even matter. A snapback?
Are you serious?
Snapback.
Take your hat off, Brad. Show 'em.
I did.
Get it. I was whatever. Right over there.
So yeah, we got some really nice hats coming in that we'll definitely be giving some of those
Brad,
away.
All right, Brad. So I think Knoxville, everyone can agree, sounds pretty badass. But I think the big question, I think everyone and their sister has, if they have a sister, is that what's the scoop with AGL Wired?
There you go.
I've heard it's like online. I've heard it's in Orange County. There's so many different things going on with AGL Wired that I just want like a concrete thing set in stone, so I know like what it is, and like how to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, because I think there's a lot of different stories going on out there, and I know there's like divisions, and it's like the NFC versus the AFC, but it's like Halo, and you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I think we all need clarification on one, the entire format, two, how the divisions work. Actually, I'll just ask the question. Just first, tell me like the format of it.
All right. Well, first thing
Pretty
is
much.
the passes will go
Oh,
on
go for
sale
it.
during Pittsburgh. Now Connor will take the rest.
Okay.
So that's when it will open up. So
Thank you, Brad.
Pretty much
Thanks,
to put
buddy.
it simply, it's an event to get a really big prize money in a tournament. So the way we're gonna do that is it's gonna have an online qualifier, and I'll talk more on that in a bit. That goes into a LAN environment, and then it'll probably be a 32 team invite only after the online qualifier. But to make the online experience run more smoothly, we've set up so like you sign up for a city. And then depending on how many people sign up overall, there'll be like between, I think it's 5 and 12 teams per city. And then it's just a pool play in that city. So the team with the best record in each city gets invited. And then you'll play in a separate bracket where you can earn a sponsor. What's the question?
And it's all online?
It's not all online.
that part
no.
is online.
So, but the pool play is.
The pool play is online, yes. And you're only playing people that are near like the city you choose.
How does choosing host work? Is it going to be AGL points? Is it going, you know what I mean?
It'll probably be higher seed or AGL points, yes.
Yeah, because right now, like we're
Okay.
doing a universal point system. So like even like wired points, like you'll get points for playing in wired, and those will carry over to the events as well. So kind of incentive too. You know, if you can't make it out to one of our events and you're gonna play wired first, and even if you don't get one of the cities, you know you're gonna get some kind of points. So then that's gonna help you for seeding for your next wired event or for the next live event that you're able to make it out to. So we're trying to do a universal point system. It's not obviously like you don't get as many points as you would going to a live event, but it's better than 0, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now giggle monster.
Yeah.
Monster that giggles. Now after pool play works, is it like a top 4 advance kind of thing, or is it like you have to win it? How's that?
You have
how's
to
that all
be
happen?
the number 1 team in each city. So it's
Okay,
one
and how many
team per city
weeks?
moves on.
And how many weeks is it over that you become this like number 1 team?
3 to 4 weeks with about two matchups every week. So
I
not
think
a
Scott
lot.
wants to compete. He seems
No.
into it.
I'm just trying to iron it out, Steven. Online tournament? Nah, not for me. My internet connection's awful. And I play on an M2 monitor, so not happening. I'm not
But you
testing
would
this
only be
guy's
playing
luck.
people that are like local teams and whatnot.
Yeah, people locally to me barely can speak English. You know what I'm saying? And I doubt they're playing. So it's like define local. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true.
All right, so you're having one person come out, and then where's like the grand finale?
final event.
Or is there like a playoffs? So pool play's done. All right, let's say Carbon V2, we win it. We win our pool play.
Mhm.
What's the next step for us?
You would get your invite to. We originally had this place in Orange County as the final event, but we're considering moving it to Knoxville to make it easier for the East Coast gamers. And
Tennessee's the place to be.
Dude, it's gonna
But
be
yeah,
you would.
after this event. No one's gonna want to
Macarena
leave. Everyone's just gonna
party.
live there.
But yeah,
That's-
then you would play
Dude,
in
the
a
Suns
bracket,
had it right.
double elimination. So yeah.
All right, so it goes from online to the grand finale, and that there's not like
Correct.
a playoffs or anything.
Well, like the
it's
bracket
just,
is
you
like
go
the
right
playoffs.
there. Okay.
The bracket is like the playoffs. Like once you win your city, then it's like the 32 cities are in a playoff bracket. So like once you make those 32 cities, you get invited to the event. Okay? But then
Okay.
as you're playing, so now you own those cities. Now imagine those 32 teams as 2 conferences, the AGC and the NGC, American Gaming Conference and National Gaming Conference. And then in each one of those,
Okay.
there's Northeast, South, and West. So then there's divisions.
Okay.
And then, so just like every other sport that everyone's used to. And as you win your
Okay.
division and then your conference and you're advancing, now depending on what tier the amount of teams that sign up get to, depends on the prize. So with, like up to 92 teams, like if it hits 92 teams, then it's a $15,000 online payout only. Now, if it hits
Okay.
192 teams, it's a $20,000 payout and then we're paying for the top 4 teams, everything for the top 4 teams to go out to the event and compete, and the other 28 teams that won the city are getting invited to compete for that as well. So they just have to pay their own way, but they can still compete for the money at the LAN environment. So, and then as more teams sign up, the more people we basically pay to come out and fly out, and then the higher the prize pool gets.
Yeah. The easiest way to put it is that you play teams in your state, right? Like, you actually have to live near the city to sign up for it. And so you'll be playing teams in your state. You try and get the best win to loss record, and then you go to the playoffs and you play for 15 to 20,000 to 50,000. Yeah, question.
That's bullshit that you got before me.
I think Scott was first. I thought he was waving me again.
He called on you. Teachers getting pet, man.
Well, what you say? You're talking location. I mean, what are we talking? Do you have a specific like mile radius, or how are you determining who? I mean, like Scott said,
you have to live in the state.
I don't even know if it's in the United States.
Wait. Oh yeah, we're only doing United States, like in Canada, so like North America. Like North America only to compete right now.
Well, what states are going to be included? You said you have
to
be
in
the state?
You can be from wherever. Like you don't have to be like if I'm in Illinois, my whole team doesn't have to be in Illinois. I can have teammates from wherever, and I can go and say, hey, I want to go and play for Toronto. Like it doesn't matter what you pick. It's completely personal preference, So that doesn't matter at all.
So if so Carbon V2, just as an example here, just because it's easiest, because I don't know where everyone else lives. Ghost is in Penn State, and then I don't care, Maven and, they're all Pennsylvania, and I'm Virginia, right? So if I look at it, what's stopping me if Pittsburgh is, like, overloaded and then Philadelphia is overloaded? Like, what's stopping me from going down and bringing them to Virginia and just cleaning house in Virginia?
Nothing.
And getting
Do
an
it.
easy win? Is there
Go
anything to stop that?
Nope.
No, do it.
There's
So it's just opportunists.
Yep.
But what if I don't understand? Like, where's the limit placed? Like, how? What if you only have like one team or two teams from a state or something like that?
Well, basically how it works is so like during
then you're
tier
gonna
1,
group states or something, I guess.
during tier 1, there's only 3 spots per city available. And then once all those spots, so like once 3 people sign up for Chicago, nobody else can sign up for it. It's filled. Once 3 people sign up for, Virginia, it's filled until it hits the next tier. Then 2 more spots per city will open up, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like 10 teams can't go sign up for one city.
As it fills up. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yes, it's kind of.
Ghost,
I guess you could say
worries?
it's kind of confusing. It'll take a little bit for everyone to get used to, but it's just we're trying to develop it so it's more or less, more opportunity of people who can't make it out to events a way to compete and start getting involved, and a way for those the people who are winning everything to have the chance to go to an event, everything paid for, and play for bigger money than what just a live event is capable of bringing, with less teams playing for it.
Ghost, you got any concerns?
I mean, it sounds more like we just have to feel it out a little bit more. Obviously, you guys are definitely trying to figure out the right constraints and and restrictions for everyone so that it works. And it definitely sounds like something that hasn't really been done before. So you guys are kind of paving that way. So yeah, I think again, it's just a work in progress. I think that it sounds like a pretty solid idea. I just think that we can go through everything, and Scott and even Maven and I, we all don't mind helping because you guys you guys are obviously just as I guess as veterans and as big as bracket guys and stuff like that with us and how tournaments and that kind of stuff. So we'll definitely look into that. But Scott and I and Maven, we'll be there to kind of give you a check and balance, so to speak, just to make sure that there's no one that will kind of squeak by in like a loophole of some sort. Because
right.
We've all done locals. There was one local that was kind of similar to this, but weird in a way, called Tunnel Vision.
TV.
But besides that, it's very I don't know. It's just different. So yeah, we'll work with you and whatnot. But I think that again, you guys have your hearts in the right place, and we'll see what we can make of it.
I think you should have. I think it should be one person from your team has to be from the state in order to do it.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Because I think it's bullshit if, like let's say the Midwest is clearly going to be, like that's kind of where most, I guess, I don't even know where most Halo players are anymore. Whatever. We're going to say Midwest is where it's at, right? They're going to stop out the competition right there, right? Like that's going to be a heated match. Like that's a big thing. Like if someone doesn't make it because they're in that division, awesome. That means that's the heart of competition. They shouldn't if we're all from Michigan, we shouldn't be allowed to play in Virginia. I think that is complete horseshit.
But then if you have a team with 4 people in completely different states, then how do you go from there?
What? Just
one person.
One person.
So you're saying one person has to be from the state, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I got you.
But then then the other thing happens where then I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I just would be pissed off if that was me. But then again, it's opportunist, so whatever. It's your guys' call on that one.
No, I think it needs to be one person needs to be from that state. That way it makes the online experience go, a bit better. By playing other teams in that area.
You know what I'm saying, Eric? Like, you get what I'm saying, right? E-Dog?
Wait, what are you saying exactly?
I'm saying that one person for a team should be from the state that you're going to compete at.
I guess the only issue.
I think that makes sense.
The only issue is how many people are going to. It really comes down to how many people are playing, right?
Well, it comes down to too, like how many people are from that state. Like how many people are from, this city or this state, versus one that might be a little bit less. So then you might have one state where like nobody's from that state, but people want that city, I guess you can say. Does that make sense?
I don't want a bunch of Californians representing Richmond, Virginia, personally. I think that would be kind of messed up. That's kind of where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying, Mave Daddy?
Yeah, no.
Papa Maves? This doesn't answer my question at all.
Well, I'm trying to read through Twitter in the chat for questions because I know there's been saw Heinz had a question, but now I can't find it. So there goes that. Oh, one question I saw thrown around was, are you, I guess, worried about the DDoS, so getting knocked offline with your guys' stream? I don't think you had a deal. What didn't happen at all with the last event, right?
You mean at the events?
Yeah, somebody asked, what's your concern? I believe with the events.
Usually with like business class internet, there's typically not an issue.
Well, I think MLG had issues recently, didn't they?
Yeah, they got knocked off.
Because well, I guess luckily we haven't had an issue like from every venue we've been to, and I'm sure we could just go tell Battlefield to make sure that it doesn't happen and up the security, and he'll be okay with it.
It might be.
I'm sure he'll take care of it. So Dustin's on top of stuff, so I'm sure he'll have it figured out.
Back to the online play and the frustrations of online. With Standby making its debut recently, I know Maven and Mickwin got Standby the other day. How do you plan on putting in a report system? What happens if someone gets DDoS when they're playing and it fucks up the tournament? Someone lags out. What are the rules and regulations with those?
Well, there's actually a lot. There's the whole support system, but to add on to that, there's also you can waive a match if it's just laggy, but you can also report the match, and then if I have a couple people who are actually online hackers or cheaters, they can actually spot those type of things, and even if you do get lagged out, it'll restart from the point that the game was at. So there's actually a lot. I don't want to confuse everyone too much, but there is a lot in place to prevent DDoS, and they won't make it far at all in the event, and they'll just get banned once they're caught.
Yeah, I want to say there's 5 or 6 fallbacks for it. So.
But let's say they get caught, but they knocked out 3 teams before they got caught.
Then those teams would get the win instead of the loss if they previously lost to them.
Okay.
if it
So
was
for
an
pool
online
play,
cheating
so their
game.
records would all. They would get 2-0s or what is it for pool play? Is it best of 3s or best of 5s?
Best of three. Best of 3.
Okay, so they would get 2 wins added on, and the loss erased. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, what about like, let's say, freak accident, thunderstorm comes, knocks my router all to pieces, and mid-match, what happens?
If you're able to get back online in time, which is I think I have it set at 15 minutes, it would continue from the score that you left off. And then if you aren't able to get knocked offline, you have up to 3 like what we call like waves, where you wave the match, and you will end up replaying it at a later date,
What's this wave thing?
but with another team.
Like let's say
Yeah,
like
so
you
what's
have
this wave thing?
let's say like you and just another team just cannot connect. Let's just say your guys' connections are just the shittiest connections all the time. Then you could be like, you open the ticket with us and you say, look, like we just cannot play each other. Here's the reasons. Show us the proof. Whatever happens and everything like that. And then we basically are like, you don't have to play that match because it's just not compatible, or because somebody gets kicked offline during that match 80 times, in an hour. So that's like the wave system, so that it gives
One
leniency
question.
with that.
One question I got from a unnamed top 2 team. I guess he's frustrated. Why should he have to play through the online to get to the LAN event? Are there going to be invites directly to the LAN part of it for top teams?
No.
No,
All right,
there's
now.
nothing in place for that right now. I mean,
Because
it could be worked out, but
Well,
because
his concern is like even if you have, let's say, all of Warriors or Pulse, let's say that they have to play, through some part of the qualifying round, they have to play a team that's still very good, but they, for some reason, are able to get all 4 of them at one house and be on one internet connection. I don't care who you are. If you're dealing with, like, if you're on the East Coast dealing with 4 hosts on the West Coast,
Even Midwest. Hell, even
here's
3
here's
states
the
down.
here's the thing though. It's pool play. If you lose to one team, you beat the other 7. So unless that's happening to every other team. Go ahead. What?
This particular player, like, they lost to teams online that they beat 100 games in a row on LAN. So I guess that's where the concern's coming from. But I mean, online can't be perfect, and I think most people understand that. But I guess I've had 2 top players just saying why should they be put in a position to have to compete online?
Well, it's basically because we're trying to get teams to play for the cities. This isn't an event where it's just because you guys are a top team, you're gonna get privilege over everybody else. Because essentially it's kind of a different like avenue of arena gaming for what we're doing. We're trying to bring in the whole community like that can't go to every single event. So if you're, yes, that comes down to picking your city wisely too, and pick a city that you think you're gonna have the best luck with, I guess. And then once you win your city, then there are potentials to not having to do stuff like that. But for the first one, you got to get to that city mark and everything like that. For what we have in play right now, there's not really anything that we can do to just favor teams that haven't played through that online thing because of events, I guess. That just
Well,
wouldn't.
how many teams are you ultimately going to have at the LAN part of this?
There's going to be 32.
32, was it?
Yep.
With up to,
But you have to win your city.
Okay.
I think something that would
to
be
have like top 8 in points or something, just get a straight right there after the rest of the point scores.
You know what's something you could do to cater to the pros, because obviously you have to. What you could do is you could decide that the pros, let's just take the top 8 teams. The top 8 teams can wait to the very end of like registration to pick their team, to pick what city they want to play in, because then they'll be able to see like, oh, these players are all in here. I'm not going to here because there's no regulation as we've already decided. So if you gave them time and they're like, oh, this is like a whole online team, we don't want to play them, we're going to go to this city instead. Like that's going to erase that. I mean, how many good teams are there right now, right? You know what I mean? Like, not to be like crazy, but like there's like what 12, 16
I would say
that are
more like how many well practiced teams are there? You know, that's the better question. There's not people
exactly.
that
There's like
grind
16
it out like
tops.
they used to. Yeah.
It's like top 16 tops,
changes.
right? So I mean, you got
I
16
wouldn't go
other
that
spots
far,
to fill
so,
in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go 16. I would say top 12.
Yeah.
So you got 14. You got 14 other spots that you can play for to avoid those players. And then even online, I mean, I think you got that Pandar kid or whatever whose host is just awful. And then you got the Suds double connection, which can be a real pain in the ass. But I mean, I'm sure there's a couple other ones there, but I mean, you can avoid those two pretty easily. So I think if you just give pros like priority at the end to pick what cities they want to play in, then they're good to go. And you start from first seed and you work your way down. So you go, all right, Warriors, well, 8th seed. Well, I guess first seed. You go, all right, well, Pulse Esports, pick your city. And then they look at the team rosters and they pick. I think that's like, if you don't want to cater to them and fly them out anyways, I think that's like the happy medium.
Now, do you think that pro
I
teams
can
will
agree
have?
with that.
Do you think pro teams will have an issue though with, let's say Pulse wants New York. New York fills up because they're picking last. Now they can't pick the city that they want to, potentially play for.
I
so
think
they
you
have to pick
hold out
somewhere
a
else.
spot in each
hold
city.
a spot if you know they want it.
But then-
hold a
but
spot
then-
in
confirmation
each
from
city.
teams.
But then that means that there's 32 people that can't sign up essentially.
Well, you could put them around. Just have them fill out spots, or put like a reserved list on it.
I think if you would have to do that, you'd have to have the pros sign up first, and then there's only one pro spot per city, and then it goes down from there. Would that
Yeah,
be-
I mean we
Well,
can do
what
it. We
Billy
can
said,
do
that
it
would
to
be
where
good.
there's limitations like per points. Like if you hold a top 8 or top 16 seed, you cannot get placed in the same city as another top 16 seed.
Yeah, I guess just do what you can, because I mean, the people that are going to be most frustrated by this clearly are going to be the top pros. I mean, most of the just random local teams, this is just a shot to get known, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I see where they're coming from, how this is just going to be it's a great idea, but it's going to be frustrating for the playing part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's one of those things. I think one spot per bracket or per city for a top 16 team makes sense. That kind of alleviates it, because I feel like if you're a top 16 team and you pull like try host 4 people at the same house, you're gonna.
Oh man.
Yeah, you remember Victory X?
I mean,
on
we
that
didn't
online
have that, but
qualifier
yeah,
before
the other
07?
guys did. Yeah, exactly. That was crap, man.
Well, it's just
I'll never
thinking
forget
like,
that.
I mean, we've
71
played
and
people.
20.
I know Scott, we've played people online that like were better than, that have had like dual host or tri host sometimes and just got stomped like 50-30.
Well, yeah,
it's a joke. Like, there's nothing you can do. It's a slaughter. So I guess that's my concern. If you people that go out of their way to do that, you're fucked.
I think
Yeah,
realistically, it's just kind of trying to get people to play more. Like, like how it used to be. Like Eric keeps talking about, everybody kept grinding out everything. So now the online actually gives you an incentive to practice.
Yeah.
So by the time event comes, all these teams are so practiced that it's just gonna start clicking and everything's gonna start working again like it used to.
It's definitely a good idea. I mean, I guess we're just focusing on the gripes of online play.
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be there. I mean, it's not the LAN connection, so I mean, we can't have people going out every week to compete. So
Yeah.
Well, that
And
falls
there's
on
also
them.
several things in place to try and make the online experience go as smoothly as possible.
What are those
Yeah,
things, Mr. Ghostayame
Whoa.
V3?
Well, we
Jeez,
went
what
over
is
it,
with
so
you
I don't
guys?
know.
You guys are brutal. Just absolutely brutal. Every single one of you. It's
Sometimes
like,
you just can't
well,
really.
there's so much stuff
Sometimes-
going behind the scenes, and Brad's like, oh yeah, and then we're gonna be auctioning off all this crazy shit.
Because
But I can't tell you what it is.
because
And
you
then
can
you're like,
only
oh, well, we
say
got
so
some
much.
fucking tricks
Like,
up our sleeves.
if it's not 100%, or if it's like top secret for the next week, we can't release it yet. Like sometimes you just gotta make
Just
people
make shit
want
up.
that. You want people to stick their hand in
you
the
just
cookie
make
jar
shit up.
and then slap their hand and not give them the cookie.
Yo, is Ghost asleep?
What?
Yeah, I think
No.
he is.
I was,
So,
I
Billy,
think he
back to
fell
our
asleep.
Billy, our
I've
conversation.
been awake the entire time.
I swear
Billy,
to God,
uh,
you fell
so
asleep
maybe-
for like 5
Dude,
seconds.
I'm nowhere near close to
Did,
tired, my
You
man.
went
Zena
like
ever
that.
reach out to you? Is she gonna try to get involved at all, or did that nothing happen?
Who did you say?
Did Zena ever reach out to you about getting involved at Pittsburgh? I know Scott, Eric, and I would love to see some Zena for multiple reasons.
Yeah, she did reach out to me. I actually talked to Brad about it, so we're not to be on the ghost train, but we're seeing if we could use her at the event.
That's
Now
cool.
we're
That's
talking.
cool. Yeah.
So.
That'd make a lot of gamers happy.
Yeah, too bad
Wow.
she's with a boyfriend. What the hell's that about?
Call him out,
he'll
Scott.
be locked
Call
in
him
some
out.
closet at the event.
He seems like a cool dude, though. Whatever.
Yeah,
Salute,
no,
man.
he does.
So is there
Jackass.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk at all about V4 Ghost, but people just ask me every day on they're wondering what's going to be
it's gonna
happening
be awful. Ghost
with
has
Knoxville.
ruined the competitive scene. Don't even talk about it. It's going to be 7 loadouts. He's using the splash, the binary rifle as a backup. It is seriously the worst thing on the face. Not only that, but he's going back to V1 settings, right? Like he scrapped everything. Skyline's out the window.
Scrapped it.
Monolith extractions, the new
Solus
game
is
type that
back.
he's testing. It is awful. Across the board, worst thing ever. But go ahead, guys.
No, V4 is obviously a work in progress. I actually originally thought that I wasn't going to have as much testing time that I had hoped for, so we're going to go back and review
Where'd that
some
go?
of the choices. For instance, I had a little bit of I guess, a problem with Abandon recently. There's a game I played that you guys could actually check on my file share. The final minutes of the game are just so disturbing in terms of spawns. And I just don't think that, considering those spawns, that it should be played for money. So I'm looking at a smaller version of Landfall at this current time because, again, we need to have 3 split-screen game types, just because I still like to promote having that 5 set just in case any tournament, needs that. So right now I'm trying to figure out, we have Haven Team Slayer, Skyline Team Slayer, and that third slot needs to be filled with a split screen game type, either being most likely Abandoned or Landfall, mainly because Monolith, I feel, is way too big. It's way too segmented of a map, and people can camp. And especially in competitive play, we've seen Abandon, how that plays out in terms of camping, top gold, and all that kind of stuff. So
What about Monolith for
and
CTF,
again, I know
though?
a lot of people. Monolith is we're looking at Monolith for CTF, and we're also looking at Dispatch for CTF. So there's a couple things that I'm still I guess a little shooken up at. I know a lot of people are really probably going to be hands in their face about Landfall, but you guys have given me enough reason to look into another map from Abandon, and Landfall is not what you think it is. One of the guys that I worked with has turned it into a much smaller map, and it could potentially work as that third game type, and that's coming from me. I don't know if you guys know, but I've changed every single map that you guys have played. Adrift, Abandon, Haven, every single map has different things about it, whether it's crates or walls are blocked off, and they're substantially different from the original ones. And that's exactly how I'm going to continue with the rest of these maps. So obviously you guys can be very opposed to Adrift at first, but obviously we've made that work. We've made every map possible work. Even as bad as Solus was, it still had a little bit of competitive merit. So again, don't fret too much about it. It's going to go through an ample amount of testing before we just throw it in there. I'm not going to make it a surprise for anyone and that all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, again,
I can touch on Landfall.
Yeah, I mean,
I can touch on Landfall a little bit because I walked over it.
We need to look at a split screen game type. That's the main thing here.
Basically, like the Landfall, I mean, obviously I loaded it up and I was like, Ghost, what the hell are you doing? And I haven't played a game on it, but essentially how it looks like it could possibly work. And
You guys are drunk.
Abandon is just such a shit show, man. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just sucks because like you want to use those maps out of the box, right? And that's why we're looking at Landfall. And essentially what Ghost has done is like where that octagon is that you can jump on and the rockets are like next to the jump up or whatever. He's like blocked that whole area off. And then there's the inside, but like some parts of it are blocked off. I don't know. It's nice because like the main spawns are like outside at the shipyard. And then the other one's all the way out at the octagon. So it looks like there could be some play that it could be worth a damn, but there's a sniper on the map, and what was it,
Yeah.
a scatter shot or a shotgun or something like that, right?
Well, it was the scatter shot, but that wasn't. Yeah, I didn't change the whole map myself. KG5, the guy I work with, made it, and
We're
we
giving
still
you the
haven't really
credit.
tested it. But no.
Okay,
regardless,
so 2 more
but
questions on
yeah,
this. Then.
we're just looking at a bunch, and again, the other reason that sorry to cut you off. The other reason
No,
that
it's
we're
fine.
looking at potential, changing it into Landfall is because there's a couple of like main reasons that he's really emphasized. Obviously it fills the missing like room-based niche map. We haven't seen it all. If we take out a bandit, it fills that asymmetrical niche. Obviously it flows well for Team Slayer. The aesthetics are great. We've all seen the beautiful Majestic. It's a great looking map. It's a disc map for the split screen settings. It obviously also increases the value for what you guys paid for these DLC maps. It'd be nice to include like all of the maps, not just Monolith and Skyline, but also Landfall. And again, I'm not going to just throw it in there for crap, like, just to get it over with Abandon. I'm going to make sure that one of these game types is noticeably legitimate to play for money. I would never put any of my close friends in any type of predicament. Like I've played with all of these guys, so I'm not going to put Snipe Down or Heinz or any of these guys at a, I guess, or Ninja or any of these guys in really a bad situation because of a spawn or something like that where, they're going to come up to me and complain to me, how the hell did I lose the finals because of this abandoned spawn or this landfall spawn? It's not going to happen. I can't stand that stuff, so.
So
We'll iron it
now,
out.
so basically, later this week, we're basically going to be a month out from Knoxville, and we want to be able to use,
Correct.
the V4 settings. So and obviously give the players as much time playing it as possible. Now, I guess switching maps, a couple maps, isn't necessarily like the biggest deal to jump from one map to another or just a new version of it, but like the overall settings. Is that going to relatively stay the same for now? So people don't have to switch any of that.
There's 9 different
Reluctantly,
loadouts, right?
I was hoping to have I'm not going to say reluctant. We were going to change, I think, a few things around, but I realized that there's no reason to. We've been working with something so long. Ninja kind of reassured me that what we're doing is in the right direction, and we obviously have all these tournaments coming up. We have these weapons that tournaments can stand beside, that can brand them as this is the competitive weapon, and everything is looks like really great. The momentum is awesome. So I'm not gonna. Let's say V4 releases. Let me look at a calendar. I guess releases on May 13th. Let's say it releases
Right
May
after
13th, and that's just hearsay.
Of course.
Right after Pittsburgh. Yeah, so if that'd be perfect, right? So then we have the 11 game types in. We'd have the the BR loadout still in. I don't know when the weapon tuning is coming. I doubt it's coming that early. But I just think that we're gonna have seemingly a good amount of practice and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have the playlist, guys. We're gonna have this throwdown playlist where you guys can practice these game types, and that's something that has been lacking in the tournament scene here. So I just wanted to make sure that we give you guys again ample resources to grind it out like you used to. We all remember the MLG playlist. Well, now we have one for ourselves, and I just want to use put the best use to it, or put it to the best use.
All right, last question, because I think that this is the biggest controversy amongst the community right now, is the extraction timers. Like, bottom line, that like the 3-second versus the 5 and the 60 versus the 45. Can we just post a poll to solve this issue and just let the community pick?
So I think all right. So I think polls work. At the same time, though, it's crazy. Like when I did all the polls for BRs and versus DMRs and all that kind of crap, we all know where that ended up. It actually against BRs. So look where we're at now. But at the same time, I think that they are useful and they're valid information. But what I'm really concerned about is I think that the maps themselves need to be kind of looked at, and we're gonna ask. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask a bunch of the pro players that I commentated. A bunch of guys that played in these most recent tournaments, and see what their take is on it because they have that. I feel like that acute knowledge as to whether or not it, is it too long to have 60 seconds? Is it too short to have a 3-second initial arm? I know that there's so many reasons and logic behind both choices, and it's gotten to the point where it's almost like just Station 9 in a sense. Like there's so many people that go back and forth over that. We just need to give something a shot. So we're gonna figure it out. I think that we should set up a poll for sure. That's definitely a solid idea.
Just to kind of
And
see,
then,
because
really
like
just work from there.
if one of them
Yeah.
gets 500 votes and the other one has 0, then it's just like, well, shit, But then it's like,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but
Right.
at the same time, Eric, what you're saying, you need to get the feel of what like top players are thinking, not what the public is.
I mean, I've
because
heard.
most people don't have a good grasp on what actually matters and makes it competitive.
I mean, I've heard
Yeah,
from I'd say 90% of the people that top players and top AM, everybody that's competing, that they like the 3-second arm. I don't necessarily don't know about the 45 versus the 60-second, but most people that I have talked to, I hear 3-second, 3-second, 3-second. I hear that more than
I think 3 seconds
than
good.
anything.
I think for me personally as a caster, I just know there were so many times where like, Station 9 especially, like, 45 seconds. I mean, it's fine. The army time's fine, I think, with 3 seconds, but like 45 seconds on Station 9 is just, it doesn't do it justice. I mean, you literally have
You sometimes only get one
push.
good crack at it.
Well,
Maybe
now
two.
with the teleporters, though.
60 seconds, it would give you that second hoorah,
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. That's just me personally.
And the other thing is that we have to set our. Yeah, go ahead.
I would rather see a team actually be tested on how their setup is rather than just be rewarded for getting it armed quick and getting one lucky spawn. Personally, that's where I'm coming from. Now, I'm not saying what it is.
That could be a good medium too. 3-second arm and 60-second hold. So I mean, that might balance it perfectly.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
That was gonna be
because that hasn't even been tested at all.
Get out of my mind, Giggle.
Yeah. So the main thing that a lot of people are forgetting about is the reason that we have to take this into like a ton of consideration is because we have to prepare eventually for that 4-shot and for the other rifles to get tuned. Now the 4-shot is going to create obviously a much lesser kill time just shooting by yourself, let alone with a teammate. So when we're experiencing the teamwork that we see at the high levels of play, it's going to be a huge factor in my opinion. So I think that we either need to like test it with DMRs almost to kind of mimic the same kill times and what ones play better or something of the sort. But yeah, I know that we've already seen the 3-second and the 45-second in tournament play, and it's worked clearly fine. So we'll look at and again we have the opposite in throwdown, and that's worked also. So I think that, like you said, we need to just I guess get either a poll going and also test out some of these things because we need to start thinking again with some foresight with what's coming out and the kill times being quicker. So it's going to change a lot.
Yeah, because if you had that 5-second initial arm with the 4-shot BR, I don't think anyone's ever arming that. Dude, that's gonna even converting it. That's gonna be like you're gonna have to put 4 down to convert that, like on any map.
But I wouldn't worry about the settings with the 4-shot until the 4-shot's out. Wait till everything's official and out. So don't worry about it too much.
Boom! Maven takes that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Pull the carpet down. Pull that carpet down.
What is it? The 10th through the 12th of or what is it? No, excuse me, 7th through the 9th of June is the Knoxville. So like, I just hope that let's say I'm just preparing that if, for instance, if it comes out right before that event or the week before that event, the tune-up, that we still have the right settings for it and everyone can play that. So that's
24-hour days for you, big guy. That's what it means.
Yeah, you're screwed, Eric.
Yeah, and
you
just so like,
skill pills, you know what I'm
just
saying?
so everybody
is on the same page. You're not going to find a happy
page
medium to like future-proof it, I don't think, but
on why there is no oddball or King of the Hill. King of the Hill obviously is glitched. If people don't know that,
So,
you
yeah.
get 2 seconds if there's more than one person in the hill. And then oddball, we've seen it's a broken game type. We weren't even going to play that at Nashville, but the teams that did play it, they both said we want to play it. So we said go for it because it was continuation series and everything. But so that's why those are out until they are obviously fixed. And then a few people are asking like what the next event is after Knoxville. Right now we're waiting for Orange County to give us like the okay to book an event there. So July event is still kind of up in the air whether it's going to go there or somewhere else. But
Nokesville, Virginia.
we're planning on it still being a really really big event. And then there's also some other things in the work for another location that's top secret for a really big event as well. So that is top secret until I'm not even allowed to say anything about that. Top secret stuff out the window. So
I don't know how you
yeah,
would go to
so
sleep at
You
night.
guys
we're
are
trying to go to the West Coast for all the West Coast people, but and like
Why?
people are all
But
people.
you do realize like West Coast does awful for events, right?
It'll be 72 teams for Orange County, and then everything that's in the Midwest is not going to be anything less than 120 teams. We're even possibly shooting the ideas of going bigger than that later at the end of this year. So there's a lot of big things in the works, but a lot of people are mad. Oh, why aren't you going to Atlanta or Seattle? Just so everybody's kind of understands that. Having the small events just why? There's no reason to do it anymore after this Pittsburgh. We're going big or it's going nowhere. That's basically what it comes down to. Like, people want the big events, so we're going to do the big events. If it has to be in Knoxville every month, would you rather have it be in Knoxville and have a 120 to 200 team event, or would you rather have it be in 5 different states and have a 24 team event?
Knoxville.
Thank you.
I mean, money's the big thing. I mean,
So.
Money's the only thing. And the whole title of
really.
being good. Whatever that's about.
So, basically if we can't secure, Orange County for July, we're going to be in Knoxville in July. If we can't secure Orange County
I
for
think you
another month, we're going to
it.
be in
I think
Knoxville.
you scrap Orange County, man.
Think so?
I don't like it.
You don't like
You
it?
guys should just look into a house for Eric Scott and I in the Knoxville area.
Just a huge AGL house, just constant.
Just get us a 2-bedroom and Eric and Maven can spoon and I'll take the master. you guys can talk about Rogaine and all that stuff and I'll hang
Backwards
out.
hats and
Backwards hats, what color looks good on you, all the works. But yeah, I think dude, West Coast, I mean, you can obviously take it to the people, but dude, from experience, man, like even when MLG was in its prime, like West Coast events didn't do well. And Eric, you can attest to that, man. It's just
the
I
West Coast events, they like had I want to say bigger turnouts when everything was flowing, but then even when Halo 3 was going crazy, I mean, we saw how popular it was, and they still I remember it was weird seeing, all right, guys, if you don't sell this many passes in this short amount of time, we're gonna have to, to cancel it or move to another location or Sundance. I distinctly remember Sundance tweeting out something like, "The West Coast, this is," or whatever it was, "West Coast, this is your chance," something along those lines.
Yeah.
And the biggest deal there is just. It's just unfortunate because when you have not only a lack of players, that's going to hurt you, but that also means a lack of spectators, and that's something that MLG always focused on. I remember once we did the Vegas tournament in 2006, where they had to pay people to cheer for Final Boss. Cool. They finally
Scumbags.
decided not to go into that those types of arenas where there wouldn't be that spectators, because you always want to have everything looking good for media, all
Right.
types of media, whether it's a USA show or just a photographer. So I think that it's always good to have a centralized location. Knoxville is prime.
Yeah.
I think Maven has discussed Columbus, Ohio, and as well as the tri-state area, like the Meadowlands.
Maven.
We talked about these types of things and said which are the best areas to really locate the early tournaments until we start really gaining that momentum that we had back in the earlier days. So,
Yeah, and obviously it comes down to equipment, cost of venue and stuff like that. And that's why like having a huge land center that has half of the equipment there ready to go, main stage ready to go, laser tag ready to go, VIP rooms ready to go, like you can't ask for much more than a perfect environment to have an event whenever we want. So
Yeah.
it's stupid not to go there as much as possible, in my opinion. And so obviously growing on that and building on that is like the number one thing to make the events bigger and better every single time. And they're great people. I'm sure you guys met them in Nashville. They're if you didn't, then I don't know. But they helped us a lot in Nashville too, and they're coming out to Pittsburgh as well. I mean, they're Dustin and his crew. They're going head over heels to make this possible for the Halo community and for Arena Gaming and everybody. So it's going to be absolutely phenomenal event. And I think that once everybody, just to throw this out there, here's another reason why we're going to go there as much. We're going to be building like a trophy case for their facility, and we're going to be getting a trophy and stuff in there that is going to be like the Arena Gaming like Stanley Cup type thing, and be getting like people's names engraved on it and everything like that. And then any players that retire like and they want to hang their jerseys in the facility, like winning flags to hang from the ceiling and stuff, like we're going to like we've gone over this with them, like we want to brand it as a stadium of Arena Gaming and give it that feel of you walk in there and Ambush has 37 flags hanging from the ceiling and they're just like, shit, I'm the best. So it's
Well,
just
that's like a no-brainer for me then, man. I think, I don't know. For me, I think I just see like a West Coast event like just sucking all the wind out from under the sails of AGL. Like that's just, and plus, I mean, I really don't want to be on a plane for like 6 hours.
Always about you,
There's the real
Scott.
reason. The real reason finally comes out.
Yo, Scott, what if
I
what
hate
if you
traveling
got
to
to go
West
like
Coast.
surfing though, or like to Disney or like Universal? Like, come on, there's pluses
Or
out
paintballing.
Yeah, Scott, and you can see a bunch of cute guys in swimsuits.
there.
It's all about the banana hammock.
Oh my God, Scott's face on that one, man. I don't even know what to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's gonna
maybe-
happen is everybody that's a gamer is gonna go and move to Knoxville now. So then everybody can basically just play Halo at Battlefield Knoxville 24/7.
Well, then, yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could turn it into the GSL. That's kind of what they do, right?
I don't even
just,
know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like the Korean StarCraft.
Watch
Oh,
a
the
stream,
StarCraft shit.
man.
Dude, I don't watch StarCraft.
Yeah.
I can't watch that. It
You
hurts
don't
me.
have to.
It hurts my mind, my eyes, everything. Like I just can't watch that. Like I don't understand it. Like someone gets a nuke and everyone goes insane, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, there's nothing like it once you get it.
something.
I'm just like, where's Snipe
Shut up,
Down
Maven.
with a sniper getting like a killtrocity, ridiculous style, like way more entertaining. Much rather see that. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of what what the plans are. So it's we're not trying to do anything small anymore. It's gonna be big money every single month, and obviously just growing on that, adding more and more to it. Obviously, we added two, the FFA and another award to Knoxville. We got player cams. So every event is just gonna give us that capability of adding more unique stuff. I feel like the more awards, the better, because then even if you don't place first or second, you might walk away with something else. So.
Yeah, but that's like that whole America mentality bullshit where like every kid gets a trophy even though
No,
it's all
not
for
like
the
that.
sport. And I'm
gotta-
totally against that, man.
Dude, but
I think you give out 3 trophies, or like 5 trophies tops, and 4 of them go to the winning team. People need to know who's better. That's what's wrong with America these days. Tell them, Maven. You tell them back in your day.
I'm trying to go shoot people soon. I need to learn how to play again. I'm playing too much Dark Souls.
Stop talking about.
Is that any
What, are
good?
you getting paid by them to say their name? You've said their name like 7 times on the show already. We don't care.
That's the first time I've said it, isn't it?
At least second. Bare minimum second. Good. Bring that weak sauce into my wheelhouse, son. See if I don't crank that bitch out left field.
I already talked to your mom. I'm gonna move in there soon. We're gonna be blood brothers. She said she's setting up a
well, I do have a garage we can do karate in, so that's always fun.
So you guys got any
Go
other
up to the
questions?
local mart, get some watermelon, slice that shit open.
No bunk beds.
When
No
do
bunk
passes
beds.
for Knoxville go on sale again?
They go on sale Wednesday at 7 p.m. And yeah, 7 p.m. So everybody get ready. You know, pass the word on for the next day. You know, get ready to buy your passes and stuff. Let's get everybody ready for Knoxville, and let's watch Pittsburgh. Let's see which team we kind of threw out there what some of the teams are going down. Let's see who who's gonna take it, what the teams if Best Man or Snipe Down's gonna end up, what Believe the Hype's gonna do, Pierre's gonna do, and then obviously see how that carries over to Knoxville. So
That'd be awesome.
lots of exciting
Definitely.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
make
and
sure-
obviously you'll see all
Yes.
three of these guys. You'll see Ghost, Gandhi, and Maven all at both events casting. So
Hashtag trio.
start sucking up to them to win the
Hashtag
Casters Award. They will have a
Caster
bookie
Award.
taking bribes. So we'll get a little midget to follow them around
Yep.
with a black book, and they could take
There
take
actually
your
be a
money.
midget there?
A midget, dude, a
You're
midget
big-
with like a top hat, like in like a nice like little tuxedo. You don't want a midget following you around like
I'd
taking
be alright
bets?
with that.
Funny story is I've never seen a midget in real life.
What?
I don't think they exist.
I'm gonna
swear
go
to God.
hire a midget to
Never.
come to Knoxville for you, Gandhi.
If you want to see me freak out and punch a midget because I don't think they're real, then yeah, go for it.
Make him dress up like
Never
a
seen
Oompa
one in
Loompa,
real life,
too.
man. Got nothing, man.
Oh.
Never seen one. Just saying.
Wow.
That's just me. Sorry. Guess it's something in the water where you guys are, but all right over here. No offense to little people. I just have never seen you, so that's all. Like I've seen a documentary and shit, but I've never seen one.
That's awesome.
Just saying, dude. Never seen one.
So we're gonna have, if I understand this correctly, Scott and I will have midget assistants.
Midget assistants. Bookies.
Hopefully.
To be honest, when I was a kid growing up, I used to think nothing more than little children who'd never grew up. So that's what I thought.
Midget
So, I
ring
mean-
girls. Oh no.
I've literally never,
Midget ring girls.
I've never seen one.
Oh, God.
So,
God.
yeah, that's all.
Sweet. Sounds
You gotta see
good.
it to believe it, man.
Well, I
Alright,
think if
well,
we
good stuff.
covered a
Looking
lot. If
forward
anybody else
to,
has questions,
Pittsburgh.
let us know. So.
Billy, you make sure Zena's there, otherwise I'll cry.
Are you gonna hold me to that one?
I won't hold you to it.
Can you cry on
I'll probably
stream?
be more. I'll be
Yeah,
way
is this gonna
more
be like an
distracted
on
if she's
stream,
there.
like 10K YouTube post of Maven officially crying at his first AGL Cry Fest?
I will
And then
leave
right
her
after
right
you
now,
cry,
right into
she walks
Scott's
around
shoulder.
the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be glorious. Alright, I'm gonna go shoot at people now.
Alrighty. Oh, a lot of people are saying they want to know what the payout is for Pittsburgh because we totally skipped that over because obviously no one even cared about it. It looks like first place is gonna be 3,000 and then second place will be probably 500. So that's what it's looking like right now. There might be a little bit more room to bump one of those up a little bit, but we're not positive on that yet. So right now that's what it's set at. So 3 and 5.